That snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We
you want one
can't,
quick question?
we can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
Okay, I was talking to the day once again in the comment section, and she was saying, no, keep your fake love, stay on that side, which I don't agree with. First, I want to say this. I know in the past, I say probably like 2020, 2021, I've tried to separate the two of like what I do for a living in YouTube, of like, you know, being a YouTube, I don't know if you want to say personality or opinionist or columnist, whatever you want to say, commentator versus a journalist, a media member, whatever, during the day. I tried to separate the two because it's two different lanes. Like it just don't work. Like you have to be a YouTube person if you're gonna do YouTube, and you have to be a journalist when you're doing journalism. At the same time, it's like, nah. At the end of the day, I do come from media, so it's like I have to tell it as a journalist. Like you know what I'm saying? So telling it as a journalist, I'm not a fan of anybody, bro. Like I'm not, because it will deter and skew the way that I report things of what is actually happening, the truth. So that stay on that side stuff and everything, like that's like honestly just fan behavior, bro. Like it's just fan behavior of stay on that side. If you said something about someone, that's what it is. And no, like if someone's playing bad, bro. Or if someone's not playing up to their full potential, they're not playing up to their full potential. That's it. That's honestly it. And at some point you have to be held accountable, especially if you're a great player. Like it's another thing if you just had great flashes. It's another thing if you're a great player and people see that you're a great player. So the whole thing started with me just giving props to Rhyne for what I feel like showing her full potential and playing up to her full potential in a road win, comeback win, to be more specific, against Seattle. She had 33 points. The team was down by 17, and she hit the dagger in the final minute. She took over the game. In addition, she had just great rebounds and assist stats as well in that matchup. And she's always played good defense this season. So those are the facts. And I said, hey, if I'm going to talk about her having this large stretch once again where she's struggling from the field, which I feel like we've seen just far too often in her career up until this point, then I have to give her credit when she plays up to her full potential and shows that she's a top 5 most talented player in the world. Today called that fake love and said stay on that side. I said, okay, where is the fakeness of she hasn't played up to her talent level consistently? She said, well, she's playing the best defense on the team, and she's had to play bring the ball up and play the role of point guard while Jordan's been out. That's what coach told you. That's what I tried to tell you, but you won't listen. I made an entire video after coach said that, because you asked me what did I think about what coach said about that. I made an entire video about it. I said her usage rate was high, which all I was saying was that she's doing a lot of stuff on the court. That's what I said in the entire video. And I said, okay, well, if that's the case, if she needs somebody to come in and pick up the slack or do that, then they need to sign somebody on a hardship contract and deem that Jordan's going to be out for weeks and Pow Pow's going to be back for weeks. Be out for weeks. What ended up happening, Pow Pow came back after just only a couple games out. If anything, she might have only missed one game, to be honest. And then Jordan Canada says she's going to come back next game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, they're coming back sooner than what I think a lot of us expected. The Dream didn't give us details of timing of where they were going to come back and stuff like that. They said we'll be evaluating in a couple weeks. I'm like, okay, that's not a time for us. So anyways, they end up coming back sooner than I initially expected. I'm thinking both of them not going to come back into the middle of June. They're coming back both by the beginning of June. So there's that, right? They're coming back. But in the meantime, it's like, okay, if that is the case, great players adjust. Like they adjust. Like, okay, you're going to put me in this role. My usage rate is going to go high. I give you an outlier for 1 or 2 games. You get an outlier for 1 or 2 games from me. Everything else, it's like, okay, bruh. Like what we looking at? Caitlin Clark, she had a couple bad games back to back against the Dream. And then I believe it was New York after that, where she had like the 10 turnovers against New York, and then against the Dream, she finished with 11 points, but she really only had like 8 points into the final couple minutes. And you know what I'm saying? Like it was from the free throw line or whatever, just to get over into the double digit scoring category and things of that sort. I give you a couple games as outliers. Okay, you just had a bad couple games, but a dry stretch. If you're struggling from the field so much, great players adjust. This is something I was saying with Trey Young once again. Okay, Trey Young struggles from the field. Despite all of that, Trey Young has never shot under 33% from 3-point range outside of his rookie year. Trey Young also has been top 2 in the league every single season, um, despite whatever he shoots. And Trey's not even considered a shooter anymore. Like it was like something that people saw him shoot deep threes coming out of college. He still shoots deep threes, and a lot of people were deeming him as a shooter. They saw like after a while where his shooting was just hills and valleys, right? And people stopped calling him a shooter, more start calling him a facilitator, because that's what they kind of noticed what his game was, which he's what he said his entire career. I consider myself more of a Steve Nash guy. I look for my teammates first and then kind of go from there. The media deemed him as a shooter because he is light skinned and he shoot from the logo. So they compared him to Steph Curry and put him as a shooter. Trey is not a shooter. He's a distributor who can score the ball as well. Ryan Howard is considered a scorer first. So it's like, okay, if you have to do a billion other things right on the team right now instead of score, that is what it is, right? Great players adjust is the point I'm making. That's only the point I'm making. You have to execute at the end of the day. And for the past 2 seasons, like I said, Trey's never shot under 33% from three in his career outside of since his rookie season. Ryan has done so in the past 2 seasons. It's just what's going on right now. So it's like, okay, she's struggling mightily from 3-point range, and she's supposed to be a shooter. That is her thing. Shooting and scoring. That's her thing. Now she's been asked to do a bunch of other things because she is such a talented natural player. It goes back to this. Okay, so who else do I think this about? I think about this with Angel Reese, and I think about this with Sabrina Ionescu. I think both of them have the talent to be performing way better than what they perform at on a consistent basis. Let's go one by one. Sabrina Ionescu, she's currently like 12th in the league in scoring. I think Sabrina Ionescu, there's should be no reason why she ever falls out the top 10 in scoring. Even on a team with Stewie, even on a team with John Quell Jones, I still think Sabrina Ionescu, she's 13th in the league. I still think she constantly needs to be in top 10 in the league in scoring with her scoring ability. Now let's go to Sabrina Ionescu's game logs. And this is exactly why she's out of the top 10 in scoring. Here we go. Pull this up. Sorry, I'm dragging out a little bit more than I want to. Okay. So 28 points, 24 points. This is Sabrina Ionescu's. That is her talent level. That is her potential. Okay. Game before that, 8 points. Couple games before that, 3 games before that, 8 points. 2 games, 16. This is exactly why she is out of the top 10 in scoring, because it's never consistent, bro. Hold on. It's the NBA stats. She's never consistent when it comes to that scoring. And her ability, you see the potential that she has the ability to be a top 10 scorer in the league. Like, no excuses. And I only say top 10 because, you know what I'm saying? Because she's on the team with Stewie and John Quell. And, beforehand, it was Benijah Laney Hamilton. She's always been on stack team. So I've given her that grace of, okay, all right, you're on the stack team, this and that. But you should still be. You see Jackie Young, she's been on stack team and she's still top 10 in scoring, things of that sort. So that's all I'm saying. It's like there's no excuse for Sab to be out. because she's hills and valleys all the time with scoring. Second player, Angel Reese. Despite the fact that Angel Reese is leading the league in rebounding, what I'm on her about and what other people have been on her about is off scoring. Is scoring. So it's like, okay, Tyler Marsh, new head coach, he comes in and he has you in a different role. He has you in point forward. So now a lot of times you're playing on a perimeter and you're kind of working from there. Whether you're playing the role of distributor, dump off passes to Camila Cardoso, within the play, within the flow of a play, pick and roll, things of that sort. Whether you kind of playing 2-man with her and things of that sort, as Twin Towers, as you guys did so well the previous season as rookies. And the reason why people are even bringing up Angel Reese's scoring, because this is someone that we've seen score over 20 points on multiple occasions her rookie season. That's why she was the rookie of the year. That's why she was the all-star as a rookie. That's why she has all these accolades and this and that. It's because she was scoring the ball a lot, because what Teaspoon had her playing to her strengths of, okay, I'm gonna put you in mostly post-up positions, and I'm a target to get you the ball, one of the first actions or whatever, and get you really involved into the offense and get that energy up. That's one thing. People, Chicago Sky fans, Angel fans, still blame Teaspoon in the moment of like, oh, Teaspoon, she not the coach, this and that. They would blame Kennedy for taking too many shots. Now you see that Chicago could use a scorer, huh? Wink, wink. And then same. So they blamed those two last season. This season, they're blaming Tyler Marsh for putting her, not placing her in the best positions. And at the end of the day, you just have to look at what the facts are, bro. The facts are the facts. You have to execute at the end of the day, regardless if he's drawing up plays for Camilla to succeed offensively more in the offense. The reason why Camilla might even be drawing up more plays to succeed in the offense is because Camilla is executing and she's scoring more and she's finishing better around the basket. Camila Cardoso is averaging 54% from the field, bro. Nearly 55% shooter from the field. She's just finishing more. Angel Reese, let's go to her field goal percentage. Angel Reese field goal percentage is 31%, bro. That's nearly, hold on, what was Camilla's? 55? 55% to 31. 55% to 31. That is 24% just better than Angel Reese. Okay. So Angel, you go to Unrivaled, you work on your game, right? You go to Unrivaled, you work on your game, especially like the point forward skills. You're sharpening those which you had since you were in high school, because you grew up a point guard and then had a growth spurt. They turned you into a post, right? So you're doing that. I'm praising you for that. Your first season opener, I was like, even though the stats say this and that, she's da 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 da, and you were showing that in the preseason as well. I gave you those props. At the end of the day, though, now the past couple games, what are you doing? You're getting the ball on the perimeter, 3-point range. You're pump faking Josh Smith, and you're driving into the lane, and you're passing up kind of good shots on the perimeter or 3-point range, and you're pump faking and you're taking it in to take more contested, congested shots, and you're just throwing it up at the rim and hoping that the refs call something. That's not a recipe for success, bro. Offensively, that's just not a recipe for success. So, as opposed to shooting the three and doing this, why are you this tough on a Rashad? Woo woo. Because look, the Atlanta Dream get a new coach, right? Carl Smesco. Okay, we're going to shoot threes. We're going to run the ball. They signed 2 centers right after that announcement. That makes no sense. Why would you sign 2 traditional older centers, by the way? Bree Jones and Brittany Griner. What do them jokers do? Well, here they go. Bree Jones, her season high for attempting 3-pointers in the game before the season was 0.4 last season. Her first 2 seasons, she didn't even attempt any threes each game. No. Not even her first 2 seasons. Her first 4, 1, 2, 3. For her first 4 seasons, she didn't even attempt a 3 on average each game. Her first 4 seasons. Last season, she averaged 0.4 threes a game. This season already, she's averaging 2 whole threes a game. She has adjusted, okay? Because if I want to stay in the rotation, I'm going to adjust what the coach wants me to do. I'm going to adjust to what their system is. And she's done it pretty smoothly. Who else is in that front court, Rashad? Brittany Griner, BG. BG, one of the greatest players in the history of the game, right? Before this season, her first 5 seasons of her career, she didn't even average a single 0.0 3-pointers per game. Her high going into the season was last season 0.6 threes a game. This season already, she's averaging double that. 1.2 3-point attempts per game, and she's been knocking down the threes. Both her and Bree Jones have been knocking down threes. They adjusted to a new coach's system. So this is why I'm asking, okay, Angel Reese, if you really like that, if you are a great player, which we know you are, and you have the potential to be offensively a great scorer and a great player, you need to you need to adjust to whatever Tyler Marsh is asking you to do. It just is what it is. And you see here, she had 14 points in the previous game against Dallas and stuff like that. So far, that's her season high. So we don't have any games where she's scoring 20 or more points yet. We have that from Camila Cardoso. And at the end of the day, it's like whether or not you think like Tyler Marsh is just drawing up more actions for Cardoso to be the scorer, which I believe going into it, you have to look at the player and the execution. You have to hold yourself accountable, bro. It can't be Tyler Marsh's fault. It can't be Teresa Weatherspoon's fault. It can't be Kennedy Carter's fault. It can't be Camila Cardoso's fault either. It has to be, okay, regardless, whatever position that I'm placed in, whatever situation I'm set in, I have to produce. I have to execute. That's what Bree Jones and Brittany Griner have done in Atlanta, and that's what Angel Reese needs to do. It's the same thing with what I've said in the NBA side of what Trae Young has done. Okay, Trae Young struggles. He has to adjust his game and adapt. And what does he do? He adapts to with the best of them. Top 2 in the league in assists every single year. So that just is what it is, bro. It's like great players execute and find a way regardless. And so I don't think it's hating to expect a player to adjust and do better when I know they can do better, when I know they have the talent to do better. I wouldn't be on Rhyne or any other player with this criticism period if I didn't think they had the ability to execute what we want to see out of them, or what I'll keep it at me, what I want to see out of them on a night-to-night basis, on a consistent basis. I wouldn't be on Sabrina Ionescu. I'd be like, oh, Sabrina just ain't like that. She's just a average role player. I don't think Sabrina Ionescu is an average role player. I think Sabrina Ionescu is the player they have marketed her out to be. The face of Nike, the 2K cover athlete, the player with so much hype coming out of Oregon. She is that player. It hasn't necessarily translated directly on the court on a consistent basis, particularly in the department of scoring. I think it's the same thing with Rhyne Howard, number 1 pick. Y'all can go back on the videos back then. I was like, yeah, Rhyne is good, but you know what I'm saying? We see what Paige got going on. They say, Rashad, she proved you wrong. Rhyne come out and sets rookie records her first 8 games. And overall, you know what I'm saying, the season kind of evens out for Rhyne. Atlanta finishes off twice as better that they were the year before Rhyne came. I said salute to Rhyne Howard. It's a bright future for the Atlanta Dream. Okay. So then Atlanta makes the playoffs, right? Hold on. I gotta stop and share the screen again. Give me a second. Right. So second year, Atlanta makes the playoffs. Okay. They get swept by Dallas. And it's like that's when, okay, it's like, Rhyne, we need you to kind of step up a little more in these games. First game in that Dallas series, I believe she scored like 36 points, I want to say. Hold on. Yeah, that first game, this game, she had like 19. No, she had 21. in the second game. But the first game she had like, hold on, give me a second here. Let's pull this up. The first game she had 36, but she had in the one where they lost, she had 21 on 22 shots. It didn't, so at this point it was like, okay, like what's going on, right? Like ooh, this and that. But you were kind of okay with her doing this as well because she also just wasn't taking as many shots and stuff like that. So you were okay with her being at least more aggressive in the effort. And so that carried over into 2024. And this is where she's been the most aggressive. And, you know, uh, they didn't win in the first round against New York, but it's still like, okay, we see Rhyne is trying, Rhyne is this and that. And this is what I'm saying. Now today it's like in the comment section, you hating against Rhyne, woo woo, da da da. You always discredit Rhyne. All right, bro. It just is what it is. This is now year 4, bro. This is now year 4. She's no longer a rookie. She's no longer. This just is what it is, and she's an all-star. This is the standard that she will be held onto as a number 1 pick, as an all-star, as the face of the franchise. They brought in Alicia Gray to be Robin to her Batman. But a lot of times it seems like, especially in the scoring department, Alicia Gray has become the Batman and Ryan's become the Robin. Just is what it is, bro. It just is what it is. So if I didn't think that Rhyne Howard could still be Batman, I wouldn't hold her to that standard. Angel Reese. If Angel Reese wasn't scoring 20 plus points in multiple games, what's up, Big Nate? If Angel Reese wasn't scoring multiple games of 20 plus points last season as a rookie, I wouldn't hold her to that standard of Angel Reese. I think you can do better offensively. And I don't think that's hating. I think hating is a lazy narrative, right? A lazy narrative discrediting somebody. This is not late. This is just what I'm seeing. Eye test plus numbers combined, intertwined. What we are seeing from the players. And dang, they could do better than that. Like, I seen them do better than that, actually. And let me tell you something as well, particularly in Atlanta, because that is where I'm covering. That's where I'm from. I'm not just saying these things just out the wazoo, just making up stuff. This is stuff other people are saying, whether it be fans at the games, whether it be fans in general, whether it be people I talk to just on a one-on-one, we talking basketball, or some people that, you know what I'm saying, even media members, my colleagues and things of that sort. These are all things people are saying. I am just one of the few people, if any, might even be the only person in public in the media space saying this about Rhyne. It's not hate. If everybody else is thinking the same thing, everybody else is literally thinking the same. Well, I can't say everybody else. I can't speak in in absolutes, but most people are thinking this. Big Nate said, who are we talking about? I'm talking about this is starting with Rhyne Howard. So I have a subscriber today who I previously come up with the theory that I actually know today in real life. And I pressed a person about it, and they were like, "Oh no, I don't know what you're talking about." And I still think it's probably them, but that's neither here nor there. We get to the thing. But today we've gone back and forth about Rhyne Howard and my stances on Rhyne Howard. In short, I say I think Rhyne Howard can. We aren't having Rhyne Howard slander. Okay, so that's where Big Nate stands with it. Rhyne Howard, I think the reason why I'm so tough on Rhyne Howard is because I just think she hasn't been as consistent as she can be offensively. I think it's hills and valleys. And the thing with or peaks and valleys, excuse me. And the thing with Rhyne offensively is she has way too many valleys. Everybody's afforded a couple outliers. Everybody's afforded a couple bad games. But Rhyne, I feel like it just happens far too often. And then so I'm saying, she was like, "Oh, you just hating woo woo this and that." I say I feel the same way about Sabrina Ionescu, and I feel the same way about Angel Reese. It's just too inconsistent for your talent level. We know that you can do better than this. We seen you do better than this. So I'm just explaining it. It's not hating. Hating is a lazy thing used to discredit people. Hating is Skip Bayless coming on First Take and discrediting LeBron, regardless of whatever he did on the court. The first time I remember Skip Bayless hating on LeBron was 2007 Eastern Conference Finals. First game, I think LeBron took the shot and missed it. No. First game, LeBron drove, dished it out to Damon Jones. Damon Jones missed a three, and it was a big thing about LeBron doesn't have the heart to shoot the ball himself. Second game, I think LeBron forces up a bad shot, and I think he missed it. And then Skip was like, he's just not good as Kobe and LeBron. Kobe and Jordan, he don't make the shot. That's hating. Like, when you do every single thing you possibly can, say Rhyne scores 34 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, right? And I come up and I say, and they lost the game. Or they won the game, and I'm saying, yeah, but she shot so-and-so from the field. Like, that's hating. What I'm doing is not hating, and what I said, I'm not the only person that has been saying this. When I talk to people on the phone, whether it be fans or other media members or so and so, and we are just having general basketball conversations, it's the same thing they're saying. I'm just the only person that I know saying this out loud. So it's not hating. It's not hating. Hating is a lazy narrative that there's not even, you know what I'm saying, really based off a fact. It's just creating stuff out the air, like, like James Harden don't play defense. That's hating. That's an old, outdated narrative from 2015, and that is hating. Trae Young don't play defense. That's another hating, outdated narrative, and not watching the games, not keeping up with what's going on. So that's what that is. Hold on. Let me get the camera right. Okay. I don't know why that stopped. But yeah, that's hating. What I'm doing is just pointing out the facts and critiquing. That's all I'm saying. It's like, if you think a player is better and has the potential for more, just challenge them and call them out for what it is, bro. I think Angel Reese and Sabrina Ionescu can be better than what they have shown this season, and just overall, I think for Sabrina Ionescu overall in her career. But yeah, that's where I'm standing at. That was it. Okay, and with that being said, I'll move on to the next thing, man. But it's not hating. Is my overall point. And I understand, even though I put like that was 20-30 minutes on that, I understand today is going to stand where she stands. Like, nothing I say will convince her, because today is a fan. Today is a Dream fan. So it's like, it's kind of like what you were looking at through the fan view versus what I'm just looking at from the straight up in the middle, what I see on a daily basis, on a game-to-game basis. It just, for the past 4 years too. This ain't just something I just came up with after one bad stretch. This is something I'm seeing. It can't be, okay, it's Tanisha's fault. Tanisha Wright wasn't placing her in the right positions and this and that. She wasn't drawing up offensive plays. It was just the offense was a mess. And now it's, okay, Carl is just running her everywhere because everybody else is hurt. And she's like, it can't constantly be everybody else, bro. At some point, great players have to hold themselves accountable and be great players and adjust regardless of the circumstance and still find a way to execute. That's all I'm saying. And I don't think that's crazy to say. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say, bro. That's all I'm saying, dog. That is literally all I'm saying. It's not hate. And even though, like, I spent 30 minutes just saying that, like, what today believes is what today believes. It just is what it is, bro. That, like, there's no change in people's mind. But I don't know. I don't know if it's ego on my part. Maybe it's just ego on my part. Yeah, I guess it's ego on my part. But it's just something to discuss, because I feel like there is a disconnect. with that.
Snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.